Today, we're diving into one of history's most epic spiritual journeys, the story of a Persian prince who gave up, well, pretty much everything in his search for God. So picture this. A funeral is underway in the city of Medina, and the Prophet Muhammad is leading the procession. But someone's in the background, kind of lurking, trying to get a look at the Prophet's back. The people around him are probably thinking, what is this guy's deal? Who is he, and what could he possibly be looking for? Well, to understand that really strange moment, we have to go way back. We're talking decades earlier and hundreds of miles away, because this man wasn't just some random stranger. He was a seeker who had already traded a life of luxury for a single, burning question. Our story kicks off in the mighty Persian Empire, with a young man who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, to say the least. His name was Salman, and he was the son of a powerful chieftain. His future was all laid out for him: wealth, power, and the high honor of being the keeper of the sacred Zoroastrian fire. But then one day he passed a Christian church, and the sound of their prayers pulled him inside. What he saw in there just rocked his world. It was a simple, direct connection to God that felt more real to him than the elaborate rituals he'd known his whole life. So when Salman went home and said he was leaving their religion, his father was furious. And I don't just mean he yelled, he literally put his own son in chains to stop him from leaving. But Salman's will was stronger. He managed to break free, escape his palace, and leave his old life as a prince behind for good. And just like that, a search began that would last for decades, taking him across empires as he relentlessly pursued knowledge from one teacher to the next. His journey led him deep into the Roman Empire, starting in Syria. And there, he learned a tough lesson right off the bat. His first teacher, a bishop, was secretly hoarding all the charity money he collected. When the bishop died, Salman exposed the stolen treasure, and the townspeople were so disgusted they refused to even bury the man. But Salman didn't let that stop him. He found a series of truly devout Christian scholars, following them from Syria to Iraq and all the way across Turkey, just soaking up every bit of knowledge he could. After decades of this, his final teacher was on his deathbed, and he was about to give Salman the most important piece of information of his entire life. The old man told him that the time for a new prophet was here. He said this prophet would appear in Arabia and would eventually move to a very specific place, a city known for its date palms, situated right between two volcanic plains. And most importantly, he gave Salman a checklist, a way to be absolutely sure. His teacher laid out 3 unmistakable signs. First, this prophet would never accept charity for his personal use. Second, he would accept a personal gift. And third, the final proof, a unique physical mark between his shoulder blades, known as the seal of prophethood. This was basically Salman's treasure map. So, armed with this incredible prophecy, Salman made his way towards Arabia. But his journey was about to take a brutal, unexpected turn. He paid a caravan to take him, but they betrayed him. They sold the former prince into slavery. Can you imagine the despair? It must have felt like the end of everything. But then, as he looked around his new home, he saw it. Date palms everywhere. And in the distance, 2 volcanic plains. In a crazy twist of fate, he'd been sold into slavery in Medina, the exact city from the prophecy. Years went by while he was a slave. Then, the news spread like wildfire. A man claiming to be a prophet had just arrived in Medina. This was it. Salman saved up some dates, approached the man, and presented them as charity. The prophet thanked him, and then passed the dates to his companions, eating none himself. Boom. The first sign was confirmed, exactly as his teacher had told him. 1 down, 2 to go. A few days later, Salman came back. He had more dates, but this time he made it really clear. This is a gift for you. The prophet smiled, took the dates, and this time he ate them right alongside his companions. And just like that, the second sign clicked into place. Salman knew he was agonizingly close. His decades-long search was almost over, but that last, most difficult sign still remained. I mean, think about it. How on earth could he verify that last sign? He was a slave, a total outsider. This was a respected leader surrounded by followers. You can't just walk up and say, "Excuse me, sir, could you possibly show me your back?" And that brings us right back to that funeral. Salman was circling the prophet, trying to catch a glimpse. And then something amazing happened. The prophet, with this incredible insight, seemed to just know what Salman was looking for. He simply let his cloak fall from his shoulders, and there it was, the seal. As Salman later told it, he just fell to his knees, kissing it and weeping. His journey was finally over. After that moment, the prophet and his companions pooled their money to buy Salman's freedom. He was no longer just a seeker on the outside. He was now a core part of his new community, and his unique background was about to become very, very important. A few years later, Medina was facing an existential threat. A massive army, 10,000 strong, was marching on them. The defenders were hopelessly outnumbered. During a war council, Salman spoke up. He suggested a military tactic from his old life in Persia. When we face a huge force, he said, we dig a trench. This strategy, the Handak, was completely new to Arab warfare, and it was the brilliant move that ultimately saved the city. This moment really shows you his new place in the community. After the trench worked, you had the original residents of Medina claiming, Salman is one of us, and the immigrants from Mecca saying, no, he's one of us. But the prophet settled it once and for all with this powerful statement, Salman is from us, from my family. The former slave from a foreign land was now considered a member of the prophet's own household. In his later years, the seeker of truth became a leader in his own right, a man whose entire life became a masterclass in humility, wisdom, and justice. In a truly incredible turn of events, Salman was eventually appointed governor of the capital of the Persian Empire, the same empire he had fled all those years ago. His salary was massive, 5,000 gold coins a year. And what did he do with it? He gave every single coin away to the poor. He lived as simply as possible and didn't even own a house. He had found something far more valuable than wealth. And he never lost that commitment to truth. There's a famous story where the Caliph Amr is giving a sermon, and Salman just stands up and interrupts him in front of everyone. He asks how Amr, who is a tall man, managed to make a full robe from the single piece of cloth that was given to everyone. Instead of getting angry, Amr had his son stand up and explain that he'd given his own share of cloth to his father. Only after that did Salman sit down and say, now you may speak and we will listen. You know, Salman's life leaves us with a really powerful question. It's one thing to search for truth, to sacrifice everything you have for it. But what happens after you find it? For Salman the Persian, the answer was clear. You spend the rest of your life trying your best to live it.